Hey everyone, welcome back. I always get excited for these deep dives, and today is no exception.
Oh, I can tell. What's got you so pumped up this time?
Well, today we're going deep into the world of superfruits. You hear that term thrown around a lot these days, but what does it really mean?
Yeah, good question. It does seem like everyone's slapping that super label on just about anything these days.
Exactly. So to guide us on this journey, we've got some really interesting material to dig into. There are some excerpts from Nuno 2, which I've heard is pretty insightful.
It is, very much so.
And we've also got this great PDF by Leo Wellness called, and I love this title, Superfruits, Nature's Nutritional Powerhouses.
Can't get much more to the point than that, right?
Right. I mean, honestly, the term superfruit itself just makes you want to know more. Like, what's so super about them? What sets them apart from all the other fruits out there?
It really does have that allure, doesn't it? Well, to jump right in, I think the most obvious question is, what are the criteria that make a fruit super?
Yeah, are we talking about something that just tastes amazing? Or is there some real science behind it?
According to both of our sources, it's definitely more than just marketing hype. There's actual science backing it up. The term superfruit typically refers to fruits that have a much higher concentration of antioxidants compared to your average fruit.
Okay, so antioxidants. Now, just to remind our listeners, antioxidants are these amazing little molecules that help protect our cells from damage, right?
Exactly. You've got it. They combat something called oxidative stress, which is essentially an imbalance between free radicals,
And those unstable molecules that can cause all sorts of havoc.
precisely those troublemakers, and the antioxidants that neutralize them. So superfruits are packed with these antioxidants, giving them an edge in protecting our cells from damage.
That makes sense. So, beyond just having a ton of antioxidants, what else makes them so super?
They also tend to be packed with what we call bioactive compounds. These are things like polyphenols, flavonoids, carotenoids.
Right, those are all those good-for-you plant compounds that we hear about.
Exactly. And many of them have been studied for their potential health benefits, and that's what makes them so interesting in the context of superfruits.
So it's not just one thing. It's this combination of high antioxidants and these unique bioactive compounds that really make them stand out.
Right. But there's more. Superfruits also usually have natural sugars, just like any other fruit, but they tend to have a lower glycemic index, or GI for short.
Ah, the GI. Now, that's an important concept, especially for anyone watching their blood sugar levels.
Absolutely. And essentially, the GI measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar levels. So, fruits with the lower GI, like the cherries, apples, and pears mentioned in the PDF, release their sugars more slowly, providing more sustained energy without those dramatic spikes and crashes.
Okay, so it's about how those sugars are released. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to energy levels.
You got it. And then, of course, we can't forget about the essential nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff that keeps our bodies running smoothly.
Right, because a fruit can't be super if it's lacking in the basic nutritional department.
Exactly. Superfruits tend to be chock full of vitamins like C, A, E, and the B complex, as well as minerals like potassium, magnesium, iron, and they're often high in fiber, which, as we know, is incredibly important for digestion, blood sugar regulation, and gut health. The sources mention raspberries, apples, and figs as examples of fruits with particularly high fiber content.
Yeah, I'm always trying to up my fiber intake, so that's good to know. And then, let's not forget hydration. I mean, all fruits have some water content, but are superfruits particularly hydrating?
Many of them are, and good hydration is important for so many things: detoxification, skin health, and of course, just overall bodily function.
So watermelon, cucumbers, which botanically are fruits, by the
Oh,
way.
that's right. I forget that sometimes myself.
Right, and oranges. These are all examples of fruits that really pack a punch when it comes to hydration.
Exactly. They're like nature's little water balloons, but filled with all those other amazing nutrients we've been talking about.
Love that analogy. So I think we've established what makes a superfruit so super. But when we compare them head to head with regular fruits, what are the key differences that really stand out?
Well, according to both New Note 2 and the Superfruits document, superfruits have a significantly higher concentration of antioxidants.
Hmm.
We're talking, in some cases, 5 times the amount found in regular fruits.
Wow, 5 times. That's a pretty huge difference.
Right. They also have a much greater density of those key nutrients, those vitamins and minerals we were talking about earlier. And as we mentioned, they often contain rarer and more unique bioactive compounds that you might not find in your everyday fruits. And finally, and this is important, superfruits tend to have stronger anti-inflammatory properties.
Okay, so it's not that regular fruits aren't good for you. It's just that superfruits are like the superheroes of the fruit world, packing an extra punch in terms of antioxidants, nutrient density, and those special bioactive compounds.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Regular fruits provide a solid foundation for good health, while superfruits take it to the next level.
I like that. All right, so we've got a good grasp of what makes them special. But what about the bigger picture? What are the potential health benefits we might experience if we regularly include superfruits in our diet?
Well, both sources emphasize that regular consumption of superfruits can benefit almost every system in your body. For example, many superfruits are rich in flavonoids.
Those are the compounds linked to brain health, right?
Exactly. And some studies suggest that they may help improve memory and cognitive function. Then there's heart health. Superfruits can help reduce inflammation and promote healthy circulation. And let's not forget the immune system. All those antioxidants and vitamin C can help strengthen your body's defenses. And as we mentioned before, the fiber in superfruits can be really helpful for those looking to manage their weight.
Okay, so we're talking potential benefits for the brain, the heart, the immune system, even weight management. That's a pretty impressive list.
It is. And the Superfruits PDF actually highlights what it calls the superfruit advantage. It mentions that some superfruits have up to 5 times the antioxidant power of regular fruits. And it suggests that they might help reduce inflammation by up to 30% and potentially boost energy levels by 20%. Of course, it's important to note that these are general figures, and the specific benefits you experience will depend on a variety of factors.
Of course, individual results may vary, but still, those numbers are pretty attention-grabbing. Okay, I think we're ready to dive into some specific examples. What are some of the superstars of the superfruit world that you think we should highlight?
Well, we've got to start with acai, right? It's become so popular over the last few years, and it has a pretty cool origin story coming from the Amazon rainforest.
They're exotic. All right, so tell us, what's the nutritional lowdown on acai, and what are some of the health benefits that have people so excited about it?
Well, our sources highlight acai's incredibly high antioxidant content. It's especially rich in a type of antioxidant called anthocyanins. And fun fact, those are the same pigments that give blueberries their deep color. Nutritionally, it's also a good source of fiber, and it even contains omega fatty acids.
Like those healthy fats found in fish. Interesting.
It is, isn't it? And acai also provides a decent amount of vitamin A and iron. The PDF gets really specific about the potential health benefits, suggesting that it might have anti-aging properties, improve cholesterol levels for better heart health, and even support healthy brain function.
Okay, so hitting all the major areas there. Anti-aging, heart health, brain power. It sounds like a real triple threat.
Right.
But how do people usually incorporate acai into their diets? I mean, it's not like you can just pick one up at the grocery store and take a bite out of it.
Right. It's not your typical grab-and-go fruit. It's often used as a base for smoothies or those popular acai bowls.
Ones that are so beautifully Instagrammable.
Exactly. But you can also find it in yogurt, juices, teas, even supplements. The PDF goes into more detail about its potential benefits, mentioning things like improved skin health, sustained energy, and even potential weight management benefits.
Okay, so it's versatile and it's packed with potential benefits. I'm starting to see why it's gotten so popular. All right, let's move on to another superfruit superstar, the blueberry. It seems like blueberries are always in the news for their health benefits.
And for good reason. They really are nutritional powerhouses. Native to North America and parts of Europe, they're packed with fiber, those anthocyanins we were just talking about with acai, vitamin C, vitamin K, and manganese.
And what about the specific health benefits that are unique to blueberries?
Well, like acai, they offer strong antioxidant protection thanks to those anthocyanins. But they're especially known for their potential brain-boosting benefits.
Like improving memory and protecting against cognitive decline as we age.
Exactly. They're also linked to improvements in heart health, vision, skin health, digestion, and even blood sugar regulation because of their relatively low GI.
Yeah.
And they might even help boost your immune system.
Wow, that's quite a list. It's amazing how much good stuff can be packed into such a small berry. And the best part is they're so easy to eat. You can enjoy them fresh, throw them in a smoothie, bake them into muffins.
Right. The possibilities are endless. And that's one of the things that makes blueberries so great. They're super versatile.
All right, next up we have a fruit that's a bit more exotic, the pomegranate. I always feel so fancy when I eat one.
They are quite elegant, aren't they? And historically significant too, with origins in the Middle East, the Mediterranean, and South Asia. They're absolutely bursting with antioxidants, vitamins, and polyphenols. Nutritionally, they provide a good amount of fiber, vitamin C and K, folate, potassium, and some really unique antioxidants like punicolagens.
Funiculate.
Punicolagens. They're pretty powerful antioxidants, apparently. And of course, pomegranates also contain those anthocyanins we keep talking about, as well as ellagic acid.
Okay, so lots of good stuff packed in there. What about the health benefits? What makes pomegranates stand out in that department?
Well, the sources really emphasize their potent antioxidant activity, largely thanks to those punicolagens. And they're also thought to be really beneficial for heart health, potentially lowering blood pressure and LDL cholesterol. Similar to blueberries, they might have benefits for brain function and have anti-inflammatory and immune-boosting properties. And get this, some research even suggests they may have anti-cancer effects.
The anti-cancer. Now that's something I want to hear more about.
Well, it's still early in the research phase, but it's certainly a promising area of study, and it just adds to the already impressive list of potential benefits.
Okay, so we've got heart health, brain health, anti-inflammation, immune support, and potentially even some anti-cancer properties. That's pretty amazing. But let's be honest, pomegranates can be a little bit of a pain to eat, right? All those little seeds.
Yeah, they can be a bit fiddly, but they're worth the effort. You can eat the seeds, called arils, directly, or sprinkle them on salads. Pomegranate juice is another popular option, and you can also find them in dried form or even as a powder.
All right, let's move on to another superfood that's been gaining a lot of attention lately, the goji berry. I've seen these everywhere, but I have to admit I haven't tried them yet.
Oh, you should. They have a really interesting history with origins in China, Tibet, and Mongolia. They've been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, and they're packed with nutrients, including a surprisingly high amount of protein.
Protein from a berry. That's not something you hear every day.
Right, but it's true. Goji berries contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them a complete protein source. And they're also high in vitamin A, vitamin C, fiber, iron, zinc, selenium, and a whole bunch of antioxidants, including one called zeaxanthin, which is really important for eye health.
Okay, so they're like little nutrient bombs. But what are the specific health benefits that are linked to goji berries?
Well, vision support is a big one, thanks to that zeaxanthin. They're also thought to support immune function, help regulate blood sugar levels, and even promote collagen production, which is good for skin health. And because of that complete protein profile, they're often recommended for muscle recovery after exercise. And some studies suggest that they may even help boost metabolism and support brain health.
Wow, it's amazing how something so small can have such a big impact on our health. And how do people usually eat them?
They're often eaten dried, like raisins.
I've seen them in trail mixes.
Exactly. But you can also add them to smoothies, make tea with them, sprinkle them on salads or oatmeal, or even find them in juice form.
Okay, so lots of options there. All right, let's move on to a fruit that's a little bit more familiar and definitely a favorite of mine, the mango.
Mango, the king of fruits.
Right. It's so delicious. And it's a superfruit. That's a win-win in my book. But I always think of mango as more of a treat, not really a health food. So tell me, what are the real health benefits of mango?
Well, despite its sweetness, mango actually has a relatively low to moderate glycemic index. So it doesn't spike your blood sugar as much as you might think. And it's loaded with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, including vitamins A, C, E, and K.
So it's not just empty calories, it's actually quite nutritious.
Exactly. Our sources highlight its potential to boost immunity, support healthy vision, promote healthy digestion, contribute to healthy skin and hair, support heart health, and even help with weight management and blood sugar regulation.
Okay, I'm officially impressed. And it's so versatile. You can eat it fresh, put it in smoothies, make salsa with it.
Right. And it adds a wonderful tropical flavor to just about anything.
All right, next up we have the cranberry. Now this one is famous for its association with urinary tract health, but I'm guessing there's more to it than that.
You are absolutely correct. While it is widely recognized for its role in supporting urinary tract health, the cranberry offers a wealth of other benefits. It's packed with antioxidants and beneficial compounds like flavonoids, polyphenols, and particularly proanthocyanidins, or PIXs for short.
So beyond the UTI connection, what other health perks does the cranberry bring to the table?
Well, the sources highlight its potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It's also thought to be beneficial for heart health, digestive health, immune function, and even oral health. And there's some evidence to suggest that it might help in managing blood sugar levels.
It sounds like it's a real all-rounder. And I remember reading something about the pomax in cranberries having a special ability to prevent those pesky UTIs.
You're exactly right. The sources explain that the A-type linkages in cranberry packs are particularly effective at preventing certain types of bacteria from sticking to the walls of the urinary tract.
So it's not just about acidity, it's about these specific compounds that actually block bacteria from attaching.
Exactly. And cranberries also contain organic acids, which do contribute to a more acidic environment, making it less hospitable to some bacteria. And those antioxidant phenols we talked about also play a role in protecting cells from oxidative damage.
So it's a multifaceted approach to urinary tract health. And it's not just juice, right? There are other ways to enjoy cranberries.
Definitely. You can find them fresh, dried, in sauces, and even in supplement form.
And finally, let's talk about another berry superstar, the raspberry. Another one that's always in the news for its health benefits.
And rightfully so. Raspberries are a nutritional powerhouse. They're an excellent source of fiber, vitamin C and K, manganese, and a whole array of antioxidants, including those flavonoids, ellagic acid, and anthocyanins we've been discussing.
Now, I've heard a lot about raspberry ketones being linked to weight loss. Is there any truth to that?
Well, raspberries do contain these unique compounds called raspberry ketones, and some studies have suggested that they might play a role in boosting metabolism and supporting weight management. But it's important to note that much of this research has been done in animals or has used very concentrated amounts of raspberry ketones, so more research is needed to confirm these effects in humans.
So it's not a magic bullet for weight loss, but raspberries themselves offer a whole host of other benefits.
Exactly. They're incredibly rich in antioxidants, which, as we've discussed, can have a wide range of positive effects on the body. They're also thought to support heart health, digestion, immune function, blood sugar regulation, skin health, and brain health. And they contain ellagic acid, which, as we mentioned earlier, is a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound that may even have cancer-fighting properties.
So it's a combination of potential metabolism-boosting properties, antioxidant power, and even some cancer-fighting potential. That's a pretty impressive resume for a little berry.
It really is. And they're so delicious and versatile, too. You can enjoy them fresh, frozen, in smoothies, baked goods, salads. The options are endless.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of superfruits today, but I know there are even more out there, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've just scratched the surface. There are so many other fruits that could be considered super based on their nutritional profiles and potential health benefits. For instance, strawberries are known for being heart healthy and a great source of vitamin C. Bananas provide a quick source of energy and support muscle function thanks to their potassium and vitamin B6 content. Cantaloupe is incredibly hydrating and rich in vitamin A. Grapefruit may aid in weight management and support heart health. Noni has a long history of traditional use and is believed to support the immune system. Peaches offer benefits for both skin and digestive health. Figs are excellent for bone health and digestive regularity due to their high fiber content. Kiwi might even help improve sleep quality. Lemons are fantastic for immune support. Apples are great for heart and digestive health. Limes are rich in antioxidants and can aid digestion. Grapes offer benefits for brain and heart health. Papaya contains enzymes that aid digestion. Even zucchini, surprisingly, is low in calories but provides vitamin C and potassium. Beetroot has been linked to improved athletic performance, and dragon fruit offers prebiotic benefits. It's really quite an amazing array of options. Oh, and it's worth mentioning that blueberries consistently rank among the highest in terms of overall antioxidant capacity when compared to other fruits.
Wow, that's a lot of superfruits. It's amazing how much variety nature provides. So with all this information, it can be a little overwhelming to know where to start. What are some practical tips for incorporating superfruits into our daily routines without having to completely overhaul our diets?
That's a great question, and our sources offer some really helpful advice. Starting your day with a smoothie that blends a couple of different superfruits is a great way to get a concentrated dose of nutrients and antioxidants. Try something like a pie and blueberries for an energy and brain-boosting combo.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do.
Exactly. For lunch, you can toss some pomegranate seeds and dried cranberries onto your salad for a boost of flavor, sustained energy, and anti-inflammatory benefits. And for snacks, reach for a handful of fresh mango chunks or some dried goji berries. These provide a natural energy lift and support both focus and eye health. And in the evening, a simple dessert of yogurt topped with fresh raspberries can aid muscle recovery and digestion. You can even add slices of lemon or berries to your water throughout the day for a refreshing and flavorful way to stay hydrated and get some extra antioxidants. The key is to aim for 2-3 servings of different superfruits daily. This way, you'll get a wider range of their unique benefits.
Those are all really manageable and delicious sounding suggestions. Any tips on how we should prepare these superfruits to maximize their nutritional value?
Yes, there are a few key things to keep in mind. Buying frozen superfruits can actually be a great option because they're often frozen at their peak ripeness, which helps preserve their nutrients.
That makes sense. I always wondered if fresh is always better.
Well, in this case, frozen might actually be a better choice in terms of nutrient content. And when it comes to berries, lightly blending or even crushing them can help break down their cell walls, making it easier for your body to absorb all those beneficial compounds.
So a quick blitz in the blender can actually make them more nutritious.
Exactly. And if you're enjoying superfruits that contain fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins A and E, it's a good idea to pair them with healthy fats like avocado or nuts. This can increase the absorption of those vitamins.
Okay, so a little avocado in that berry smoothie can go a long way.
Exactly. And of course, proper storage is essential. Keep dried fruits in a cool, dry place and fresh fruits refrigerated to maintain their freshness and nutritional value.
Great advice. This has been such a fascinating and informative deep dive into the world of superfruits. I feel like I've learned so much about their incredible variety and the amazing health benefits they offer. So as we wrap things up, what are the key takeaways you'd like our listeners to remember?
Well, the main point is that diversity is key. Each superfruit brings its own unique set of nutrients and antioxidants to the table, so incorporating a variety into your diet is the best way to reap the full spectrum of benefits. And remember that consistency is crucial. It's the regular consumption of superfruits, even in smaller amounts, that will make a real difference in the long run. When possible, choose whole fruits over extracts, as the different components within the fruit often work together synergistically. And finally, remember to eat the rainbow. The different colors in fruits represent different types of beneficial phytonutrients, so a colorful plate is usually a good indication that you're getting a wide range of nutrients.
Great advice. Diversity, consistency, whole fruits, and eat the rainbow. I think our listeners will definitely remember those key points.
I hope so.
And as a final thought to leave our listeners with, I want to pose a question. Considering all the unique properties of each superfruit we've discussed today, what combinations might offer the most personalized and powerful health benefits for you? What superfruit synergy will you explore?
That's a great question to ponder. The possibilities are truly endless.
They are. And that's what makes exploring the world of superfruits so exciting. So thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've learned something new and are inspired to add a little more super to your day.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure having you. Until next time.